Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the Max Holloway Dustin Poirier fight. Honestly, one of the most legendary fights I have seen in a while. And from rounds 1 to 5, it was very electric. Before I go more into it, if you guys can, please hit the subscribe button and let's shoot for 15 likes on this video. Anyways, let's get into it. So let's start off with round one, right? Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier. In the beginning of the round, I would say the first 2.5 minutes, it was pretty intense, right? The first half of the round, I think they both were going back and forth, both having their moments. No one was necessarily really winning the round, because they're just kind of going back and forth. And again, I don't think really anyone had a moment in that first part of the round that was more damaging than the other. They were kind of just testing the waters. But then Max Holloway lands a right hand that knocked down Dustin Poirier, I believe, twice that round. I see him go back down twice. I don't know if like one of them was just him like kind of going down already, and whatever the case may be. It was either one or two knockdowns. Max Holloway got round one. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Round two, Max Holloway was actually, winning the round. He clipped Dustin a couple times in that round too. If it weren't for Dustin Poirier actually knocking down Max Holloway in that round, we could have seen uh, Max Holloway win all 5 rounds. But Poirier knocked down Holloway. I give that round to Dustin Poirier, right? He knocked down Holloway, and that was enough for him to get that round, in my personal opinion. So we're in there 19-19 heading into round three. Round three comes up, and just kind of similar to round one, the first half of it, the first half of round three, it was pretty fucking even. But then we see Max Holloway starting to land more punches that started to sting more to Dustin Poirier. When he was starting to outland Dustin Poirier towards the second half of that third round, he also was landing more of the moments within that third round. There's more damaging shots landed from Max Holloway to Dustin Poirier than Dustin Poirier was landing on Max. So I gave round three to Max Holloway. We were going in 29-28. Round four happens, right? This is also a crazy round. Although on paper, Max Holloway had actually more significant strikes, I gave round four to Dustin Poirier. And the reason why was because although that, Holloway landed more, Dustin actually landed the more damaging shots. Max Holloway actually reacted a lot worse to Poirier's punches that were landing that round more than the Holloway to Poirier. So I gave Poirier round four. I think he landed the more damaging shots, in my personal opinion, as the criteria for the UFC cards is damage is number one. We get to five, and I mean, round five, Max Holloway just outboxed Poirier that whole round. It was a needed round that Max Holloway had to get, and he was able to pull it off. So on my personal scorecard, I actually had a 3-2 to Max Holloway. I could understand a 4-1 to Max if you were to give round four to him, just because he did outland Poirier. But again, to the criteria of what the UFC gives, I think the criteria fits of Poirier winning that round more than Max Holloway. Yeah, overall, just a great fight. 3-2, 4-1 Max. Max Holloway at the end called out Ilia Topuria, which was very interesting. I don't know if he should take a fight yet against Ilia. I think he should have one more fight until rematching Ilia if he wants to, at least just one more. Maybe him and Paddy Pimblett. I know Paddy's already probably going to go against Ilia, but if you can pull off a Paddy Pimblett fight, great. If not, like I said, I just wouldn't go. I wouldn't go close to a Ilia Topuria fight, maybe, or unless he wants to go against Charles Oliveira. Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira, do that. Maybe, see if you can get a knockout there. If you can knock out Charles, you know what? Maybe that adds on to the fights that could potentially get him that rematch against Ilia Topuria. You know what I mean? I don't blame him for the call out. I just think as a Max Holloway fan, I'm a bit worried if he were to do that fight that it's very dangerous for Max. And I want Max, you know what I mean? I want Max to win. Like I said, Max Holloway is one of my favorite fighters of all time. Genuinely is one of my favorite fighters of all time. And at least have a couple fights before taking someone as lead as Ilia. But yeah, that's what I think about the whole UFC, fight within Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. One hell of a fight at the end of the day. I wouldn't be mad. I'm not mad. Like, if I'm Dustin Poirier, I should not be mad about the result. He had one hell of a fight to end off his career. It was a back and forth. He had his moments. Max Holloway had his. It was a war. And yeah, I'd be proud if I'm Dustin Poirier for his career. So shout out Dustin Poirier. Shout out Max Holloway. That's going to be the video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys like this video and want more, please hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys on the next one.